This is Things You Might Not Have Heard, the morning weekday update from Things You Might Not Have Heard or from the Conversation Project, where we give you today 8 news stories to get your day started to get you up to date on things that you say are conversational news topics. We are your go-to source for both mainstream and unconventional news, giving you the latest in information, politics, current events, and pop culture. These are stories that kind of got missed in the mix, especially as we had the debate in real time on this thing from the Republicans, which turned into a bunch of chaos, and of course Donald Trump speaking a bunch of chaos in front of auto workers. But these are 8 stories from the past day and a little bit of this morning that you vetted as conversational we're going to give to you. So get your day started for great conversation going forward. Go to our website, thisisaconversationproject.com, and see more details about what we do every single day at the Conversation Project and more details on how you can be a part of the show. And we'll get into that in the show. Plus, at the end of the first show, the main show, the news you're here for, give us about 15 minutes. You'll get the second show, the fun stuff happening, which you do every single day. You want to hang around for that. Taylor Swift will be a part of this thing because she's a part of everything these days. Maybe she's a part of the debates. She may be running for Republican president. Who knows at this point? But we have her and 7 of the stories to present for you right now. Today happens to be the 28th of September, 2023, and we're going to prepare for those news stories for you to get you into the groove, keep moving on with those things right now. First story from the morning. Headline reads like this. Hunter Biden sues Rudy Giuliani over alleged data access violation and computer fraud. If you were thinking it's about time that Hunter Biden kind of did something to fight against what was going on, then here it is. If you're thinking Hunter Biden should go away and go to jail, well, that may happen as well. But let's deal with this suit right now. Rudy Giuliani is being sued by basically everybody, and now Hunter Biden is getting in the mix as he is suing along with his business partner, his business partners, that being Rudy Giuliani's business partners, for violation of computer fraud and data access laws. The suit claims that defendants took or stole data from Biden's devices, i.e. the Hunter Biden laptop that everybody's talking about that ended up in a pawn shop, ended up in the hands of Rudy Giuliani apparently, and we've been talking about with all the pictures of him doing coke and being naked and holding guns and whatever is going on. Essentially, Biden was flexing like he was on Instagram while he was on drugs, and that is the big case of this. Now, the fact that he may have been not qualified for a job that paid him lots of money because his father was president or vice president at the time, that's a whole nother issue. This is essentially dealing with the laptop itself, not so much anything about the other stuff. We will see how this one plays out in court because Rudy has no money and can't defend himself from this. So eventually, this will probably go to trial. Speaking of trials and judges, let's go to Judge Chutkan, who has denied Trump's request to recuse herself in the federal election subversion case. President Donald Trump asked for Judge Chutkan to be taken out for a whole bevy of reasons. U.S. District Court Tanya Chutkan said on Wednesday she won't recuse herself from Donald Trump's 2020 election interference case, rejecting the former president's claims that her past comments raise doubts about whether she can be fair because she doesn't care. She wants us to go to court and be done. Now, we're going to see this thing play out big time, I guess, as no one has really been able to kind of stand up to Donald Trump in this thing, in anything we're going forward, and we have a lot going on. The problem is he's currently running for president and all the other stuff, including the MAGA things going forward. How will this play out? Well, Chutkan said she's going to be the judge, whether Trump likes it or not. And we'll see when this thing actually finally gets to trial. He's got all these indictments, all these things going on. Plus, yeah, he's running for president. He's a busy guy going on. And his company may be dissolved. So he's got a lot of things on his plate. We'll see how this one plays going forward. Sticking with courts and sticking with trials, sticking with guilty pleas, specifically a not guilty plea from Senator Bob Menendez in his federal court bribery and extortion cases. Happened yesterday. He was released on a $100,000 bond, which, of course, he had in his back pocket. All jokes aside, ordered to have no contact with the co-defendants or the Senate staff unless accompanied by a lawyer. Now, one of his co-defendants is his wife, so that's going to be kind of, yeah, but it is what it is going forward. 2 other businessmen were also accused of paying Menendez in exchange for his help for some things. Those include Fred Diabez and Jose Urbe. Hopefully I said those properly, because those 2 guys, plus Menendez and his wife, are all charged in this big old thing. What did he do? He tried to influence some people by, bending the ear of the president to have some policies done, and also help out the government of Egypt while on a committee to basically regulate Egypt. We'll see how this one plays out. again as well, continuing in court somewhere. Arbitration, not so much court, has fixed the writer's strike, and so now that people can write again, they can't quite act again. The late night TV shows are coming back to TV fairly soon. Now the writers can come back to write the jokes, write the monologues, write the skits. The actors still working on their deals, so there may not be many actors on the late night shows for a while because there's not much they can say in the way of promoting of things. But the writers are back, so the shows will be coming back very soon. All the people who were starting their shows and backing away, they're coming back. So Drew Barrymore and the likes for the daytime shows, those can come back. But the nighttime shows are coming back faster because all they need are some jokes and monologues and to kind of go with the day's news. And there's plenty of day's news to go into, including this one, which isn't very funny, but it's one of those things that was a long time coming, or maybe not a long time, only 2 months essentially. North Korea to expel Travis King over illegal boarding crossing. Travis King, the private who is 23 years old, who made the sudden dash to North Korea to escape a court-martial in Texas, is back in the States, back at a hospital, basically back in the United States soil at least, going through a test for his health, test for his mental acuity, and debriefing on what's going to happen. Now, more things will happen to him, even more things since basically past the just court-martial for him being rowdy and getting into fights in Korea. But we'll see how this thing plays out going forward. The reports are he is extremely happy to be out of North Korea. Apparently North Korea is extremely happy to have him gone because I guess, and this is my opinion, once he dashed for the border and showed up there and told Kim Jong-un, hey, I'm here, they realized he really had nothing to offer but being there. I mean, they couldn't put a crown on him and say, this is a great American who is coming across to show the imperialism, because he probably was just sort of a knucklehead in the first place. Don't know him personally, don't want him in North Korea, but it is what it looks like, and we'll see if what it looks like is truly what it is. Pink was there for your entertainment, but she was not there for your protest, as Pink kicked out a Concertgoer protesting circumcision in the middle of her show. Circumcision. Pink kicked out a man in the crowd holding a message on his phone that read, circumcision, cruel and harmful, during her summer carnival tour stop in San Antonio on Monday. Crowd members showed the message to fellow attendees who booed him. Pink instructed Siri to remove the guy from the concert. Ganche said she felt bad about what was going on. All sort of weirdness happening inside the concert. Why circumcision? Why a Pink concert? Well, there might be some issues with that because Pink has some issues with her childhood and transgenderism and things like that. But why at a Pink concert when everybody's happy and they're singing songs and they wanted to do the old babyface songs, he doesn't do anymore. And this guy's bringing up circumcision of all times and places. We're bringing up circumcision of all times and places. Hopefully we won't get an E rating because it's only 8 minutes in, but we'll do our best. Yeah, moving on. Heinz creates ketchup and seemingly ranch condiment for Taylor Swift. Now, this is not a new thing because ketchup and ranch, or cranch as Heinz has created for a while, they have mixtures of all sorts of things. It's been on the shelves for a while. But they've renamed it seemingly because of Taylor Swift and her love of chicken fingers and her now maybe love of Travis Kelce, maybe. So in appearance on an NFL game last week, which had basically everybody watching it because Taylor Swift is in the stands, not on the field. Sales of Kelce's jersey went up 400%. There you go. And the cranch, which is now called seemingly ranch in ketchup, is probably going to go up as well as a collector's item, mostly. Although I'm sure most people will see it on the shelf and their kids will eat it and the parents will go nuts. But cranch, seemingly ranch, and ketchup will be around for a bit. How long will Kelce and Swift be around? We know that Taylor's reputation, not so great. We'll see what happens there. And finally, because we like piling on, House debate stalls as Lauren Boebert scrambles to find amendment on her phone. Representative Lauren Boebert of Colorado, Republican by the way, struggled to find her own amendment on her phone and attempted to stall the debate by urging the adoption of her amendment to decrease the salary of the Department Undersecretary of the Food and Nutrition Services of the Department of Agriculture to $1. Now, was that a part of the actual big amendment? I don't think so. I think she was literally stalling because in this moment, she was all of us needing to get a document that she had on her phone because it's 2023. Why print things out? Print it on your phone and pull it up and read it from your phone because that's what people do. And she couldn't pull it up at the right time. However, we're not the ones that were felt up in the middle of a theater a few weeks ago, and it's 10 minutes in, so hopefully we won't get an E rating for that one. Therefore, we were not all Lauren Boebert. She is not very bright, and we will see how this plays out because she only won her election seat by a handful of votes in the world of politics, literally a handful of votes. Maybe people will see the light. Maybe people will just sort of forget she's on the ballot. Maybe people just don't show up, and the people that do show up, for some reason, like this idiot in Congress. I said idiot. I said Congress. I'm speaking of Lauren Boebert, Republican of Colorado. I said those words. And our errors, apologies, and admissions section today. Quick jaunt to Joan Collins, who made a very high appearance in the engagement that scored today. We'll explain that in a minute when we get to the teaser story. But Joan Collins is 90 years old, and she is insisting, she is telling the world, she tells you people, darlings. She's never had any work done in her face. None of this, if you're watching the video, you're seeing something. Otherwise, I'm waving my hand over my face. None of this has been worked on. All natural, all beauty, all me, all Joan Collins. Deal with it. Now, this is the part where we talk about our teaser story for tomorrow. A story that we could talk about tomorrow and how you can get a chance to vote in the stories all week long for the Conversation Project. What you simply do is follow us on our feeds on Facebook and X/Twitter. Literally, we put out news stories every 50 minutes into our pages, our feeds there. So if you go to facebook.com/This is the Conversation Project and Twitter or X, because it's still called Twitter on the internets, even if Musk wants to call it X. And our page is th_conversation. You will see a news story, various news stories, all day, all night, all the time. Just engage in it. Literally just look at it, like it, love it, hate it, share it, do what you can do to get into it. Read it, please, so you know what's going on. And these stories that get the more conversational, more engagement links are told to be more conversational. Tuesday through Friday, we take the top 15 stories in engagement, calling those the most conversational, pick 8 to present to you. Of course, on Monday, we give you 10 stories. That's from a total of 30 stories from the weekend. Will we talk about this story tomorrow? Probably not, but you know, it's a chance. It's like a 1 in 35 chance we'll talk about it. Oscar Mayer brings back the Wienermobile name, beloved American icon. For a while, a very short while, a few months, they named it the Frankenmobile because Frankfurter is a more tolerable word than Wiener these days. But now it's back to being the Wienermobile because people know what it is. Will we talk about this one in a deep dive? You will be the judge, literally. Engage in this story if you see it in the feeds, or engage in any story in our feeds 24/7, and the top 15 stories for your Friday get consideration in the 8 stories we present. It is that simple. We also present for you every single morning a sponsor that we want you to check out because we think they can help you out. And if you help them out because they are affiliate links, we get a small commission back to us. So this is how we help keep the Conversation Project on the air, if the air still existed, basically on the internets. This is the conversationproject.com/resume solution. It could be your new step to your new job. Resume Solution does all you need to do to prepare you for your next job. They help you rewrite your resume. They help you prep your interviews. They give you literally style tips and things to do to go forward. Get a free resume review to get started for your new job, or maybe just want to clear up your resume for your current job to show your bosses what you've actually learned and why you should stick around, what your actual talents are, because sometimes they don't see it in you working all day. They need to see it on paper. Check it out and check us out at the Conversation Project's link for our sponsors. This is for Resume Solution. Direct link to this is the conversationproject.com/resume solution. This is an affiliate link, as I said. So if you use them as a service, we get a small commission back. We thank you for checking them out and all our sponsors that we have going to present us here for this show. And this show, this whole concept is housed, it lives online at this is theconversationproject.com. The Conversation Project is it's had a couple of different lives, different sort of focuses, but as it has always sort of been, is a conversation with you folks all the time. It's always been about reaching out to people and seeing what they thought and what they wanted to talk about. And this current iteration is about news stories, current events, things that are conversational, not just the big stories. Because yes, the big story from the states last night was the Republican debate last night versus the Donald Trump counter programming last night versus the Joe Biden picket walking on Monday, kind of a three-tiered thing. But we really want to know what stories you really want to get into. You guys care about Taylor Swift and ranch dressing mixed with ketchup, so we talk about it. That's what we do. In order to keep those things going, follow us on our feeds and tell us what to talk about. Every single weekday morning, I get that data for that. I also get data and feedback and responses from emails from you. The conversation inbox at gmail.com is where you can email and chat it up with me so we know what we talk about, what to do to fix things going forward. And if you think what we're doing is pretty good, check out our partnerships page online and see that. By the way, at our website, you can find out where you can either not have to watch this live at 5:50 in the morning every single weekday morning, where the replays are in video, in audio, and the newsletter right there at the website. We thank you in advance for stopping by and just enjoying what you're doing. And of course, following us on the feeds. And now, as promised, the second show, the fun stuff, which we do every single weekday morning, it begins right now. And the fun stuff always begins with birthdays for the day. September 28th is no exception, and we start off with Jeline Garofalo, who is 59 years old. Now, she is essentially, from back in the day, one of the prime members of, starring in movies of Gen X, as the generations were coming through from the baby boomers having a voice. She is now almost 60 years old, which means us Gen Xers are getting up there in age, and now there's a reason why the millennials and the Gen Zers are kind of bitching, complaining about us, because now we're sort of in their way, even though they're sort of leapfrogging over us, which gives us more reason to bitch and complain, because we have them beneath us and we have the baby boomers ahead of us, and there's still some greatest generation folks that was like, yeah, we ain't dead yet, we ain't going anyplace. Jeline Garofalo embodied a lot of that spirit that we still have, and she is 59 years old today. Also turning closer to a larger age, older age, more matured age Gen Xer, Mira Sorvino, of course, daughter of Paul Sorvino, and a great actress on her own, 56 years old today. And if you want to feel really kind of old today, Hilary Duff is 36 years old. Currently starring in the now canceled How I Met Your Father, of course, getting her fame from Hilary Duff back in the Nickelodeon days. That's a way to make you feel like you're pretty ancient, because when she was on TV, I was way past Nickelodeon days, and my kid was watching Hilary Duff and going, oh my God, Hilary Duff's so awesome and all that stuff. Now she's doing sexy things on sitcoms, and I just can't handle it. She's 36 years old on the day, and I feel extremely ancient. Let's do our history lesson for this morning. Starting off back in 2008, way back in 2008. On this 28th of September, on that day, back then, SpaceX launched its first private spacecraft, the Falcon 1, into orbit. And it was successful. The first successful one, I should say, going forward. So SpaceX, now a big part of our space exploration, space tourism, space work, as Elon Musk and private space tours are now taking a big chunk of what NASA and other government agencies were doing and making it work, which should be a good thing, because the profitability should be a reason for it to keep going. It's still Elon Musk. In 2012, Facebook hit 1 billion users, and now we're all sort of stuck with Facebook, even though it is what it is, and it's, that's the other guy who's kind of a... And in 2015, NASA scientists announced that the discovery of flowing water on Mars. Flowing water means probably life. Anywhere there's water, there's probably life. Neil deGrasse Tyson was on a show the other day that I heard on the radio, basically saying there is ice under the moons of Europa. There's ice on planets far away. If there's ice and it can be thawed enough to be water, there can be life. But it may not be, whales and things like that, but microbes can be there. And so there is life probably in the water in Mars. If we can get there and get some of it back, we shall see. On this 28th of September, we're going to celebrate Strawberry Cream Pie Day, because why not? I like strawberries. I like cream pie. The combination is delicious. It's yummy. It's great. You should check out strawberry cream pie on your own today, or some other cream pie if you choose to boycott the strawberry kind. But for whatever reason, it is designated for this 20th of September every single year to get yourself some strawberry cream pie. So check it out. It's a good thing. Trust me on that. And finally, one more thing you might not have heard. In an often turbulent and hostile world, many Americans are getting through by focusing on what counts, watching cat videos online. Survey found that the average cat owner likes 398 cat-related posts and looks at 725 cat pictures and videos in a year. More than just interacting with cat-themed internet posts, the average cat owner also has 13 cat-related items. This includes 44% who have a framed photo of their cat, 43% who own a cat stuffed animal, not just a cat, a stuffed animal, not their stuffed cat, and 38% of owners who own a cat calendar. If you love cats, cats will probably hate you because they hate people, but it'll probably make you happier for worshiping your cat overlords. With that, let's wrap it up for this Thursday. It had to be Thursday, the 28th of September, 2023. My name is Jay Cleveland Payne, and this has been your things you might have heard for this particular day. Thank you so much for joining us for the show as it is, and just being a part of the family, giving me things to do, by giving me words to say, by being a part of the feeds and showing us what stories were most important. Follow us on the feeds and let us know what stories to talk about every single weekday morning. And of course, stop by the website and visit the email address so that you can tell us how to work things out better. Make sure you are staying hydrated and staying limber and on task for all the grand things you are here on this planet to do for the world. Now, you may not believe that you're going to, change the world, but for the world close around you, those folks that gather near you every single day, you mean a lot to them. So keep on keeping on so you can mean a lot to them every single day. To me, you mean the world. So stop by the feed, send me that feedback, and join me tomorrow on September 29th. Very special day. We'll let you know about that tomorrow here for the Conversation Project and things you might not have heard. So with that, have a great Thursday. Enjoy your Thursday. Prepare for a stupendous weekend and a great Friday as well. We'll do the same. Follow us on the feeds and see what we're talking about Friday morning.